Welcome back, and it's still Newsweek, where we discuss the biggest stories that made the headlines in the week. Now, amidst hope renewed ahead of the 2023 general elections, the All Progressive Congress on Friday unveiled its manifesto and inaugurated its presidential campaign council for the 2023 general elections in Abuja. Details in this report.
To please unveil.
This document, unveiled by President Muhammadu Buhari, is the governance manual for his party's presidential campaign. President Buhari's directive was clear. He wants the party to line up behind Bola Tinubu and ensure he emerges victorious at the polls.
Our candidate, Asuwaju Bola Tinubu, is too well known for his capacity and can do the spirit. He stands tall in his track record as a democrat, a champion of the rule of law, a man at home in every part of our country, and a truly visionary leader.
Renewed hope is the theme of the All Progressives Congress Presidential Campaign Manifesto. The party's presidential candidate, Bola Tinubu, says it is hope of a new Nigeria, hope of an improved, better and sustainable economic growth, hope of all-round security of lives and property, hope for all Nigerians. Bola Tinubu and Kashim Shettima commits to delivering good governance and strengthening institutions.
As standing on the foundation well established by the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, we shall build a nation where sufficient jobs with decent wages and an enabling environment for small business owners create a better life for all and a future of promise for our youth.
The APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu is arguably the most talked about on the list of other presidential candidates, and he is frequently targeted by peddlers of fake news and deliberate misinformation. His campaign council says these will not make them lose sight of their determination to turn around the fortunes of Nigeria for good. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
Well, I still have a political analyst in the studio, Neyi Saliu, and via Zoom I have Olufemi Lawson. Olufemi, let me start with you. What's your take or takeaway from Tinubu's action plan titled Renewed Hope 2023, Action Plan for a Better Nigeria?
It's impressive that the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, has come out clearly to tell Nigerians what his plans are if eventually elected as the president of the country. And most impressive is the fact that President Muhammadu Buhari has also thrown his weight, behind the action plans of Bola Tinubu, also promising to lead the campaign for his election. Ultimately, as Nigerians, what we expect is not just these plans being limited to campaign manifestos like it has been in the past, particularly since 1999. What Nigerians want is implementation not only of 10-point agenda, 20-point or 50, but those basic campaign promises that have a direct impact on our day-to-day life as Nigerians. And as you already considering his pedigree, as a knowledgeable politician, as somebody who is a pro-democratic element, who understands the yearnings of Nigerians, must look beyond the action plans as, of course, presented to Nigerians, to actually narrowing it down to how the immediate concerns of Nigerians can be addressed if elected as president of Nigeria. There must be priorities within this 8-point action plan, because the country cannot run on those plans all at the same time. As we speak, when you talk about what is our priority as Nigerians, we talk about the urgent need to revive our economy, the urgent need to restore security and, of course, get food back to the table of the average Nigerians. And while working towards the implementation of his action plans as a candidate and, of course, the party APC, Asiwaju must be interested in focusing on the immediate need of Nigerians, which are very clear to all and sundry.
All right. Let me come to you now. Of all the promises listed in that manifesto, what issue do you think should be prioritized when Tinubu wins the election, if he wins the election?
There are three things on the front burner of all Nigerians now. Number one is security. Number two is power. Number three is food. Basic food, agriculture. And Asiwaju, even before now, in all his campaigns, has always stressed the need to provide food on the table of every Nigerian. He's spoken about security at all times, and the way he's responded to security issues all over the country has shown and demonstrated that what he has in his action plan are not just rhetorics. They are things he meant, and they are things he will be able to do. Now, and he has pedigree. He's been a governor of Lagos State. He's done it. So Nigerians generally will not worry too much about the capacity of Asiwaju to deliver on his promises. They've seen him done it before, and they think that he will be able to do it again. I think generally that the issue of security is something that all candidates that is in this election should be very serious about. It is something that worries all Nigerians. Food, agriculture, they need to give us a plan. And Asiwaju has it in black and white. And that's one of the things that is important when politicians are able to put together their thoughts and put it to Nigerians, so that when they win the election, they get into offices, people are able to hold them to each of the promises they made. And the fact that the president has also bought into this campaign, bought into the action plan, is something that's showing that there is synergy between the campaign, the presidential candidate, and the presidency. And the party, in a way, the way I see it, is in unison as to how they move forward in this campaign. So my advice to Nigerians is to look at the action plan, look at the man, take him by his word, and see what happens next year.
All right. Mr. President also say he is leading the campaign. What do you think could be the implication of this?
You see, a lot has been said about, the president's performance in office. And I know a few things about government and governance. It is, and it will depend on how you say it. There's a lot that there is to be done when you come to office. And a lot of Nigerians, one of the things we should do, especially the elite, is to take interest in governance. And this is not the time that any campaign, especially on the same political platform, will separate a sitting president from the campaign. If the president wants to lead, I think it's a plus to the campaign. In the end, politics is a game of number. And the president being in front, that is a man that has commanded over the years 11 million votes by himself. So imagine when he's, synergizing with someone like Asiwaju, who has never lost any election in his history. Right. So for me, it's a synergy that works.
All right, let's go to our final topic for tonight. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has continued his argument against the retention of the chairmanship of the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the north. Let's hear him out.
Keep their commitment. Anything you say, make sure you fulfill it. Then on another breath, you say, look, give us commitment that after the election in 2023, you resign. One now asks you, what is this so important thing that a man who has made a commitment cannot keep to it now? And you urge us as party members to say after the election, he will not keep to the commitment. That's even the worst of it.
All right, Olufemi, let me come to you now. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay, though Governor Nyesom Wike has continued to fight against the retention of the party's national chairman, isn't it about time this matter was resolved by the party?
Well, as it stands, PDP has not shown any willingness, in my view, to bring an end to this dispute And unfortunately, the party is not learning from history. 2015, 2014, 2015, that was the same route the party, so when 5 governors of the party and some other stakeholders aligned to the opposition to get the then incumbent president, out of office because of some internal disagreement within the PDP. And unfortunately, the party has not taken any lesson out of that. And what is happening now, irrespective of how people want to consider Governor Wike's agitation, is a question of morality and integrity. And of course, a lot of times people want to say there's no morality in politics, but sometimes you must also consider that what you are marketing, your aspiration is, about the faith of a larger population of people beyond the political party. And as such, you should be interested in some level of integrity that your party must be seen to have. It is very, very fundamental that, whether written or not, there has been a conventional agreement that presidential candidates and the national leadership of the party cannot come from the same zone. This was a very popular opinion before the convention of the PDP that produced a national working committee. And I don't know why it has become so difficult for the PDP as a party to resolve this. But why does this look difficult to me? Beyond the position of Governor Wike and the candidate of the party, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, the structure that should ordinarily have been in the middle to resolve this has already taken a stand. That is the National Working Committee. Okay. And that is why...
Okay, Olufemi, we are almost out of time. I'm so sorry to interrupt you there. I'm so sorry, but we're almost out of time. I just want to get from you finally, Nee, that what do you think or what do you make of this idea of Wike endorsing Sanwo-Olu for the second term?
Okay, Governor Wike is a man that is not able to lie. And you've seen him, you've seen his history, he tells it as he sees it. He has been governor for 8 years. He's worked with Sanwo-Olu as governor of Lagos State for 4 years. He has seen what Governor Sanwo-Olu has. He is also a performing governor himself. Almost on a weekly basis, he commissions one project or the other. So if a particular performing governor sees another performing governor, he will know. And he has identified with a lot of things that Governor Sanwo-Olu has done. So he didn't come as a surprise to me. He only came to Lagos to say what he's seen over the last 4 years. And I would just commend him for being bold enough to address the issue and speak the truth. What the PDP should do is to look inwards and decide whether they want to really be in this election or not. Election is about performance. And he said it. He said, even though Governor Sanwo-Olu is not in his party, but the governor is performing. If someone is in his party and is not performing, he is not going to identify with the... It is basic. And our politics in Nigeria should really get to a point where we only see things mainly on performance basis. And that's my view.
All right. Thank you very much for your contributions so far. I just want to also thank you, Olufemi Lawson, for being part of the show.
It's my pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Nee, for coming.
Thank you very much.